Hello, hello, hello. It's Kathy Bedell at My Stampin' Spot. Continuing on with our Super Saturday event. It's my appreciation day. Thank you, thank you. This video is Notes of Nature. We're going to make a card using this. It's got a lot of that grunge look to it, which is not my personal favorite, but I actually made a cute little fun fold that I love with it. There are beautiful dies that go with it. I chose this little die to do something in a shaded spruce, mostly because I felt like it just needed a little pop of color for what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put that off to the side. I do have a Whisper white ink pad, a crushed curry, a crumb cake, and a pecan pie. Now I have cut a lot of pieces, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to give you the recipe, the dimensions. I have the iridescent foil gems, which I thought were cute because they have a little gold to them, along with the Nature's Sweetness DSP. So this is great paper. This is what I've chosen to use. And it is, one side is foil. The other side is, so this to me is Pebbled Path. And then there's a lot of gold and copper clay accents. So if you love gold, how pretty is that? That is gorgeous. Gold continues to be, this is pecan pie with the river rock. Gold continues to be such a great accent piece in home decor, in clothing, and of course in crafting. So this is kind of like field notes all typed up with some gold splatter. We have some big images here. How pretty would these images, especially in the gold, be if you cut some out and colored the leaves and the flowers? I think that would be gorgeous, and it would make a pretty card front, just as is with a greeting. Here we have some more gold leaves, and we have, this is like a pecan, kind of like some notes in there with some splatters of the Pebbled Path. And then we have this great, what looks like field note paper, and again, Pebbled Path with some gold writing on it. So, so pretty. This would be great for men's cards. Then there's these images, which you can simply cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and you have card fronts. You can leave them plain. You can color them. These are great. And so you get 12 of these in every pack of DSP. And I think that's it for our DSP. So let's make a quick card, and I'll tell you about the measurements. Again, we're using Notes of Nature. This makes like a notebook page, like a binder page, which how cute is that? And then you have this great edging for a card, and then you have some dies that cut out some of the stamped images right there, and then we have some little sprigs. Okay, we are starting with a card base that is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I've scored it at 5 1/2, and then I've scored it again at 2 3/4. You know what? I'll put this right here so that you can see it if you want. It'll all go on my blog this week. Then I've cut this great like field note piece that is 2 1/2. So it's 2 1/2 by, I put 5 1/4. That's not accurate. By 4. Is that 4? Let me measure here. Yep, by 4. So let's add that to our card front. Whoops. Now, I didn't use any dies except for the little sprig that I'm going to put on here. Everything else is cut. I have this beautiful piece of gold foil DSP. This is cut 5 1/4 by 4. So we're keeping the dimensions in line with this little front fold flap. Let's put that on there. Okay, now the real fun begins. Oops, I forgot to cut my other white pieces that are going to go on here. All right, well, I have 2 pieces of pecan that are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And again, I have 2. So let me cut some white to go with that. I am going to need, let me get some scrap. I'm going to need 2 pieces cut at 3 by 4, I believe. Yes, 2 pieces cut at 3 by 4. So let's see, how wide is this? All right, so we're going to do 3. So we're going to cut 4 this way. So 4 inches, and then we have 3 inches and 3 inches. Again, I will put all this on the blog for you. Now, this is where the real fun happens. I want a piece for in here. So I'm going to use my crushed curry. And I'm going to stamp this little whimsical kind of like wild looking flower image. Whoops. Okay. Again, this is in crushed curry, and I'm just going to put it down the bottom like that. I'm going to leave that on my block because we're going to use that again in a minute. And I'm going to adhere this piece to one of the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 pieces of pecan pie. There we go. And I'm going to adhere this. I'm going to center it in my inside card base. Like that. Pretty simple, right? Okay. I'm going to set this aside for just a minute. We're going to pull over this piece. I want to use this large Field Notes image. And I am going to... Gosh, I don't have a smaller block. Well, I'm going to put it on this great big block. And I'm going to stamp it in pecan pie along the left side here. And the circle is going to be down because that's the way the image is. And again, I'm not a huge fan of that grungy kind of look, but we're going to kind of turn this into grunge. So I'm putting it along the edge, and I'm kind of trying to center it top and bottom of this piece. Now my piece is turned on its side, but there you go, like that, okay? Then I'm going to take this same image. Let me close this pecan pie up. And in the crushed curry, I'm going to kind of stamp it on this background randomly. And I am going to put it over the words just a little bit. I'm stamping off some like this. Maybe I'll put one more down here. Let's see, like that. Okay. Let me get my chamois that comes with this glass mat and just clean that up. Okay. Now we're going to take crumb cake, and we are going to use this image that's like dots, this one right here. So this would be great for snowflakes. It's great for sand in this case. We're kind of using it a little grungy. And I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to do some full strength. Let's see. And some I'm going to do partial strength. Like that. And that is just going to give it a little bit of that grunge look. Now, we could sponge around the edge to take it further. I'm not even going to do that. But what I am going to do now is adhere this piece to my 3. So this is 3 by 4, and we're adhering it to 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 pecan pie. Like that. And we want to add adhesive only to about here on the back, because you don't want to make it close up. And I use a little more adhesive than I normally would, simply because it's going to have some extra tugging when you have a fun fold piece. And you'll notice I'm lining it up with this inside piece like that so that it's hidden. How cute is that? Okay, this is a piece that's about 1 inch long, and it's 11 inches. It's just a scrap piece from when I was cutting. I'm going to take this. This is All About You, Happy Birthday. And I'm going to put that on a block. Okay. Hoping it's straight. And you could, if you wanted, you could heat emboss this in white. But because I'm trying to get that kind of old, grungy look, I'm going to stamp it in the Whisper White Craft ink. It's going to have a little bit of a different look to it. When you get this ink pad, if you ever purchased a craft ink, this comes uninked. And you get a little re-inker bottle that you have to re-ink it yourself. And like I said, it's not super crisp, but it's going to kind of keep in line with what I have going here. It's going to kind of, if I embossed it, it would be super crisp, and I think it would really stand out But with this card, I want it to be just a little more subdued. And you know me, I love the simple angle cuts. Always have, always will. This just washes off. And I am going to take a couple dimensionals, put them on here, and then I'm going to take my shaded spruce sprig that I already die cut, and I'm going to estimate where I want it to be, and I'm going to attach that with a dimensional. Because I want it to, actually I think I want it over more. I think I actually want it under this one. So I'm going to put it over here because I kind of want it to hang off this layer just a little bit. Let me take these dimensional tops off. And I'm going to pop that on there. Like I said, I could have done this in this color. I could have done it in white. I just thought, I almost used the crushed curry. I just wanted a different pop of color, just to add a little something to it. Now let's go back and add a few of these iridescent gold foil gems here, because they match this DSP so well. I'm going to put a couple over here, like this. There we go. And there is our Notes of Nature card. And again, I will put all this on the blog so you don't have to rely on this, but there it is if you want it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. It's a great set. It's very different. It's very different than my taste, but I have to admit, after working with it, I really love it. And the DSP is gorgeous. All right, have a good day. I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks. Bye.